Hunter Biden's corrupt house of cards could soon be crumbling down. The first son appearing in court today in Arkansas and facing off against the mother of his 4-year-old love child, a little girl that Hunter hasn't even met and that President Biden refuses to even acknowledge. Hunter wants to lower his child support payments. The mother is accusing Hunter of lying about his income and wants the judge to throw him in jail until he comes clean about how much he makes. So this isn't just your ordinary child support fight. The case could blow the lid off where the Biden family gets all the cash from and whether the big guy's getting his cut. The judge just ordered Hunter to answer additional written questions about his investments, his art sales, and other financial transactions. James Comer says those developments could be key to his investigation.
We want to know how much money he's made from the artwork and who the buyers are. That's the most important part, who the buyers of this artwork are. We want to know if Hunter Biden has any offshore accounts, because we're learning more every day about the complex scheme that the Biden family had to try to disguise the source of the revenue. So I think this court case has a lot of potential to help assist us in our investigation.
So, Judge, what kind of things would Hunter answer to these written questions that could help James Comer's investigation?
The amazing part of this is you've got the Department of Justice, the FBI, the IRS, congressional oversight, and they will not be able to get anywhere near what a family court judge in Arkansas will get in this case. This family court judge is a straight shooter based upon everything that I've been reading about her. She's requiring that he answer additional questionnaires, and she is criticizing his lawyers for overly redacting disclosures and finances. She has ordered that Hunter testify in June in a deposition and that they go to trial in July. Now, what this does is it blows the whole thing open because Hunter, and by the way, you know who started this? Hunter, because he's such a cheapskate. He went in for a reduction of child support himself. So London, the mother says, you know, my little girl, Navy, has never even seen her father. She's not acknowledged by her grandfather, who's the president of the United States. They put stockings for Christmas up for the dog and every other grandchild, but not for his grandchild here. And I want my daughter to use the Biden name. And he outrageously says, oh, it's a terrible thing. It will destroy her if she uses my name. The truth is he sold and made fortunes on his name, and he wants to deny his daughter of that. But what we're seeing here is an original settlement of $2.5 million. So he's paid $750,000 allegedly. That's according to the lawyers. So everybody take it with a grain of salt. This judge is going to force him to follow through on that financial settlement. And if he shows that he doesn't have the money, she's going to keep digging. This is a judge who's going to go in with a forensic accountant and make sure that Hunter Biden and his family, as a result of the connections, cannot hide the money that this baby is entitled to. And think about the psychological, the emotional damage that this child will go through when she realizes how embarrassed they were, how they tried to hide a little girl. Yeah, shame on them.
Are Democrats, Jessica, embarrassed?
Writ large, no.
Are you a little?
I'm embarrassed that anyone would deny a child like this, whoever they are. I think it's an awful story. And the fact that it's now playing out all over our TV screens and in our papers makes it even worse. And things like this go on every day. And the judge was saying that she sat as a family court judge for a little while and has seen this, that this is something that goes on. But obviously this is on another level because it involves the president of the United States. And it doesn't seem particularly in line with the kind of ethos of this family or what they have projected is the ethos. I do think that if the judge's assessment is right and this family court judge will blow the lid off the whole thing, that's going to be good for all of us to finally know what the financials are. If there's a connection to the big guy, hopefully this girl will get her $2.5 million settlement in full. But most of all, I would like Jim Comer to stop going on TV and saying, got this, do you actually? And then he goes, well, if this and if that, just draw the connection, draw the straight line, and then we can all go home.
Well, he did draw the straight line from China to the Biden family bank account. Dana, your thoughts on how this is playing out?
Well, I think the judge's point about Hunter being the one who started this is a really good one, because a lot of people might say, oh, well, this woman she's just money hungry. She's money grubbing. No. She has a child that she has to care for. Who knows? They probably even have to have security, I would imagine. And why? She's never met her dad. She's never met her grandfather or her grandmother, Dr. Jill Biden, who the Bidens have said, look, we are such a wonderful, loving family. And look at us. We are a great family. And we forgive our son Hunter for all of his transgressions that he had and his addiction. And we're so proud of him because he overcame his addiction. So aside from the money part of things, to me, this is a matter of character for all of them. Because at what point doesn't the president say, son, just do the right thing? Let's do the right thing. Let's make sure she has the financial means that she has, but I want to know her. I mean, let me just back up. So when I was growing up, my grandfather on my dad's side, with the rancher, he was such an important influence in my life. And when I think back to men in my life who have been the most helpful to me and shaping me and helping me have confidence and being able to be who I am today, it was my grandfather that I look to, that I think about in my mind's eye and that I remember so fondly. And I think a lot of women feel that way. This girl, as the judge said, she will always know that they completely ignored her. And for what? For politics? When actually, I think the politics for them would have been so much better if they had said, Hunter, just do the right thing. Yep. And I want to know her. And London, you are welcome here. You are welcome here to our beach house. And yes, I know, Hunter, you have a new wife. Deal with it. And she's going to get to know her cousins, and she's going to get to know her stepbrother or stepsister. And it really does break my heart. And again, this is not the right wing who has come up with this story. Hunter Biden had the affair, had the child, denied paternity, didn't want to pay, tried to reduce the amount he was going to pay, has fought it every step of the way. And this judge isn't out to get the Bidens. She's out to help the child, and we should all follow it that way.
And the president has money. He could loan Hunter some coin to help this Navy out.
Or maybe start selling his paintings, right? And then that could pay for whatever he owes, because he does paint like a 4-year-old. It seems only fitting. It is amazing, too, the original denial. Do you know what his denial was? He doesn't remember. If only we could always say that about everything. Right. I don't remember. Right. He said he had so much sex, he doesn't remember. Still, I do think it is a mistake to let the Hunter's human failings become the story, because that could be separated. His human failings didn't bury the laptop. We need to get to the real story of influence peddling and on behalf of the big guy. That matters more. Still, you have to think about, this is the granddaughter of the President of the United States, and he ignores her. She earned that place. Her mother slept with Hunter Biden. Think about that. That's like sleeping with 4 square blocks at Skid Row. I mean, that's worse than going into war. There's a much darker, scarier risk. But I know that, I bet you old President Joe is confused by all this, because in the old days they probably handled this differently. Yep. You know, this person went away, because how many politicians back in the old days had illegitimate kids and they just disappeared, and then you'd hear rumors, and what happened to them? Or
you just paid the woman off,
right?
Like most of these politicians, and he won't even do that.
At least, I mean, yeah, Donald Trump, he slept with porn stars, but he paid them.
The other thing, can I just mention one other thing that, and look, this reporter, this isn't a knock on the reporter, but at the White House Correspondents' Dinner, there's this Washington Post reporter, and he got honored for his job, and he does a good job. But what they awarded him for was about how Joe Biden's Catholic faith shapes the way he approaches his job.
Yeah.
I mean, what is it because we've brought this up that nobody wants to talk about it?
And this is a president who will board a kid up to the timetables.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, it's like,
and make the taxpayers pay for it.
Yeah.
All right. Coming up, Sanctuary City Democrats are begging for mercy from Republican governors sending them more migrants.
All right.
Hi, everyone. I'm Brian Kilmeade. I want you to do me a favor. I want you to click to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page. This is the only way that I know for sure that you're not going to miss any great commentary, any great news bites, any great interviews coming your way on Fox. You can get it all here on YouTube. So subscribe right now.